Assalamu alaikum viewer, I am Dua Baloch. This is a Surah Al-Kahf translation. I hope you will like it and enjoy. 1. All type of true and perfect praise belongs to Allah, who has revealed this perfect book to his servant and has not assigned to it any crookedness. 2. He has made it, rightly directing, that it may warn the disbelievers of a severe calamity coming from him, and that it may give good tidings to the believers who do deeds of righteousness, that there awaits them a place of goodly reward. 3. Wherein they shall stay forever. 4. And that it may warn those who say, Allah has begotten a son. 5. This is absolutely wrong. They have no real knowledge of him, nor had their fathers. Grievous is the word that comes out of their mouths. They speak not but a lie. 6. Will you worry yourself to death sorrowing after them, if they do not believe in this great discourse, the Quran? 7. Verily, we have made all that is on the earth as an embellishment for it, that we may try them as to which of them is the most excellent in respect of performing the noblest deeds. 8. Yet it is we who shall, one day, reduce all that is on it to a barren soil. 9. Do you think that the people of the place of refuge and of the inscriptions were a wonder among our signs? 10. Recall the time when the young men betook themselves to the place of refuge and said, in prayer, Our Lord, grant us mercy from yourself and provide for us right course in our affair, setting all things right for us. 11. So we sealed up their ears, to cut them off from the outside world, in their place of refuge for only a number of years. 12. Then we raised them up, for making certain efforts, that we might distinguish as to which of the two groups had made better use of the time they had stayed there according to its rightful requirement. 13. We relate to you their true story. They were a few young men who believed in their Lord, and whom we had led from guidance to guidance. 14. And we strengthened their hearts when they stood up in the cause of God, and said, Our Lord is the Lord of the heavens and the earth. Never shall we call upon any god apart from him, for in that case, we would certainly be uttering a preposterous thing far from the truth. 15. These people of ours have taken to them, for worship, other gods apart from him. Why do they not bring any clear proof and authority in support of their belief? In fact, they have no such proof. Who can be more unjust than the person who forges a lie against Allah? 16. They said one to another, So, now, when you have left them and that which they worship apart from Allah, you should take shelter in the place of refuge. If you do so, your Lord will extend to you his mercy and will provide some ease for you in this affair of yours. 17. And, O people, you could see the sun when it rose, inclining to the right of their spacious place of refuge, and when it set declining to their left, while they were in the open space of this refuge of theirs. This was one of the signs of Allah. He alone is rightly guided whom Allah guides. As for the person whom he forsakes, you will find no helper, no guide, for him. 18. You might think them wary while they are dormant and asleep. We shall make them turn over, now, to the right, and then, to the left while their dog is present with them, stretching its paws forward on the threshold in the courtyard. If you had become aware of their true state, you would have turned back from them in fright, and you would have surely been filled with great awe of them. 19. And, just as we made them dormant, we raised them to life from the state of lethargy, so that they questioned one another. One of them asked, How long have you remained dormant? Some of them said, We have remained in this state of inactivity a day or a part of a day. Others said, Only your Lord knows best the time you have remained so. Now send one of you with these silver coins of yours to the city. He should see which of its inhabitants has the best and purest food, and let him bring for you provisions from it. And let him be courteous, and let him not at all apprise anyone about you. 24. If they come to know of you, they will condemn you or make you revert to their faith by force. And in that case, that you revert to their faith, you will never attain your goal and prosper ever. 21. That is how we let other people know about them, their intentions, and the real state of their affairs, that people might know that the promise of Allah is true, and that as to the coming of the promised hour there is no doubt about it. And recall the time when the people that followed argued among themselves about their affairs, and they said, "Build a monument over them. Their Lord knows them best." Those of them who won their point said, "We will certainly build a mosque, place of worship, over them." 22. Guessing at random. About them, some say they were 3, their dog being the 4th, while others say they were 5 and their dog being the 6th. Yet there are others who say they were 7 and their dog being the 8th. Say, "My Lord knows best their real number. None knows them except a few, so do not argue about them save with arguing on known premise, which is overpowering, and seek no legal order concerning them from any one of them, from those who make random guesses." 23. And never say of anything, "I am going to do it tomorrow." 24. Unless you add to it, "God willing," and remember your Lord whenever you forget and make a mistake, and say, "Hope my Lord will guide me to a course even shorter than this to the right path, leading to success." 25. And they, the early Christians, stayed in this place of refuge 300 years and extended their stay another 9 years. 26. Say, Allah knows best how long they stayed. To Him belong the hidden realities in the heavens and the earth. How clear He sees and how well He hears. They have no helper beside Him. He lets none associate with Him and share His judgment. 27. And recite to these people what is revealed to you of the commandment of your Lord. There is none who can change His words, and you will find no refuge apart from Him. 28. And keep yourself attached to those who call upon their Lord morning and evening, constantly seeking His pleasure. And do not let your eyes turn away from them to pursue the glamour of the present life, and do not follow him whose heart we have declared unmindful of our remembrance, who follows his evil inclinations, and whose affair exceeds all legitimate limits. 29. And say, "It is the truth from your Lord, therefore let him who wishes it believe in it, and let him who wishes otherwise disbelieve in it. But let everyone remember, we have prepared for the unjust a fire whose flaming enclosure will surround, and fumes envelope them. If they cry for water, they shall be helped with water, boiling, like molten lead, which will scald their faces. How dreadful the drink and how dismal is the fire as a resting place." 30. But those who believe and do deeds of righteousness should know that we surely do not suffer the reward of those who do good deeds to be lost. 31. It is these for whom there await the gardens of eternity served with running streams, to keep them green and flourishing. There they shall be adorned with bracelets of gold and wear green robes of fine silk and rich brocade. They will be reclining in these gardens upon raised couches. How excellent the reward! And how beautiful the resting place! 32. And relate to these, opponents of yours, the parable and description of the conditions of 2 men. We had provided to one of them 2 vine gardens which we fenced with date palms, and we placed cornfields between the 2. 33. Each of the 2 gardens brought forth its fruit in abundance, failing not the least in them. And we had made a stream to flow as well in between the 2. 34. Thus he, the owner, had an abundance of fruit and substance of diverse kinds. So he said to his companion, the other man, while he was arguing, boastfully and vainly, with him, "I am richer than you in wealth and mightier in respect of manpower." 35. And it so happened that he entered his garden while he was unjust to his own soul. He said to his companion, "I do not think that this wealth will ever perish." 36. And I do not think that the promised hour of resurrection will ever come. But if I am ever made to return to my Lord, I will certainly find there an even better resort than this. 37. His companion said to him, while he was arguing with him, "Do you disbelieve in him who created you? First, from dust and then from a sperm drop, then he fashioned you into a perfect man." 38. But as for myself, I believe that He, Allah alone, is my Lord, and I will associate none with my Lord. 39. And why did you not say when you entered your garden, only that which Allah wills comes to pass, for power belongs only to Allah, though you see me inferior to yourself in riches and children. 40. There is every hope that my Lord will give me a garden better than yours, and he may visit this garden of yours with thunderbolts from above, so that it is turned into a barren waste. 41. Or its water may be drained into the earth, so that you will not be able to find it. 42. Now it came to pass that his fruit and substance was utterly destroyed, and while it, the vine garden, lay toppled over on its trellises, he began to wring his hands on account of what he had spent on it, and said, "Would that I had associated none with my Lord." 43. But then there was no party left to defend him against Allah, nor could he defend himself, for it was Allah alone who could help him. 44. At such a time, it is thus established that protection belongs only to Allah, and help comes from him alone, the true God. He is the best in respect of rewarding and the best in respect of bringing about good results. 45. And give them the similitude of the life of this world. It is like water which we send down from the clouds, so the vegetation and plants of the earth flourish with it. And then it turns into chaff which the winds scatter about. Behold, Allah is the holder of all power over what he will. 46. Wealth and children are an adornment of the life of this world. But with regard to immediate reward, ever-abiding righteous deeds are the best in the sight of your Lord. They, also, promise the best hope in respect of the future. 47. And beware of the day when we shall set the mountains in motion and make them vanish, and you shall find the nations of the earth march forth against one another, and we shall gather all peoples together, and we shall leave none of them behind. 48. And they shall be presented before your Lord ranged in rows, and it will be said to them, "Now certainly you have come to us, no better than we created you the first time. But you had thought that we would appoint for you no time for the fulfillment of our promised." 49. And on that day, the record of their deeds will be exhibited before them, and you will see those who cut off their ties with Allah, fearful as to that which is recorded in it. They will say, "Woe to us! What sort of record is this? It leaves out neither a small thing nor a great one, but has recounted everything," and they will find all they did confronting them, and your Lord does injustice to no one ever. 50. And recall the time when we said to the angels, "Submit to Adam." So they all submitted, bowing, but Iblis did not. He was one of the jinn. He disobeyed the command of his Lord. Mankind, would you, then, take him and his progeny and cohorts for friends rather than me while they are your enemies? How evil is the substitute of God the unjust have chosen. 51. I did not call them, Iblis and his cohorts, to make them witness and to help at the time of the creation of the heavens and the earth, nor at the time of their own creation. I would never take those who lead others astray for my helpers. 52. And beware of the day when he will say, "Call on my so-called partners about whom you had many pretensions." Thereupon they will call on them, but they will give them no answer, and we shall make their association with them a cause of their perdition. 53. And those who cut off their ties with Allah will see the fire and realize that they are going to fall into it, and they shall find no way of escape from it. 54. And we have explained in various ways in this Qur'an every kind of excellent thing for the good of the people, but of all things human being is the most contentious. 55. Unless the precedents of the ancients should be repeated in their case, or the punishment should stare them in the face, there is nothing to hinder people from believing in the guidance when it comes to them and from seeking protection and pardon of their Lord. Thank you for watching Animal Tip channel. Please subscribe this channel.